Hey guys, what is up? What's up, Theory and Theology? I hope you guys can hear me well. I hope you're doing good. I'm taking a little break here during my shift. Gonna kind of talk a little bit about my experiences with the internet, adjusting kind of the whole, what do you call it, like adjustments to, I guess, dopamine from internet. I don't really know. Let me see. Let me look this up because we know I come from the field of psychology. I want to look up DSM, internet addiction diagnosis, because I don't think I know that off the top of my head. I'm more familiar with the DSM-4 TR than the DSM-5, but I am familiar with the DSM-5. I just haven't really been using it really much at all. So let's see what it says when we look on Google. Let's look at internet addiction. We're gonna look at DSM-5 criteria for internet addiction. So just real quick, people who might not know what the DSM is, it's the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Health Diagnoses. And, somebody is struggling with something with their mental health, that's one way that, professionals use to diagnose and see what criteria is met, if any, and just kind of go from there and see what the diagnosis is. And so, let's see. If I'm just looking at this, at the what do you call it? At Google's, I guess, front page here, and I scroll down past all the helplines and things, the first thing that comes up is what people ask. It says people also ask, what are the DSM-5 criteria for internet addiction? So it says, according to the DSM-5, let's let this siren pass. According to the DSM-5, a diagnosis of IGD, what does IGD stand for? Maybe it's internet and gaming addiction, is given when 5 or more of the following 9 criteria are met. Now, it doesn't list all 9 criteria, it only lists part of it. Let's see if I can find the rest of it somewhere else. But it says, well, for one criteria, preoccupation with internet games, withdrawal symptoms when internet gaming is taken away, and 3, tolerance, the need to spend increasing amounts of time engaged in internet games. Number 4, loss of control. Then it says ... I don't have all that information. So I think this diagnosis is specifically talking about internet and gaming addiction, internet gaming addiction. Someone else asked, is social media addiction in the DSM? It says it's not recognized as a medical condition, which I don't really know why social media addiction would not be considered. And then it says, like, scrolling down, so I guess I read the wrong one, because I don't really want to read the internet gaming addiction. It's not the gaming part, it's internet in general. So internet use disorder, that's another part where there's criteria to be met. This failure is described by the following set of criteria, and I think there's more than what's listed. There's only 5 listed here. Number 1, a preoccupation with the internet. 2, the need to use the internet for increasing amounts of time. 3, unsuccessful efforts to stop using the internet. 4, mood change when attempting to stop or cut down internet usage. And 5, staying online probably longer than intended. The words cut off there. So I'm not even getting the full picture here because I'm only getting like half of the criteria. It talks about major components of internet addiction, the excessive use, the withdrawal symptoms, tolerance built up, and it doesn't have any more listed. So let's look at just what we have. I wasn't really intending to like go in and look for this, but I just thought, it just kind of came to my mind because I was like, I'm not big into like, hey, let's diagnose everything, but it's something that I've never really looked into. Now, I don't really think I have an internet addiction necessarily. I mean, it might be mild if I do have one. It's more, I can tell where it comes from. It's more of like being online is cheap or free for the most part. It's convenient. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to drive anywhere. So with the economy as it is, and living in LA, and with things being, how things are here in LA with traffic, and how things are in LA with, mostly with the traffic issues, and then other kinds of, complications, just trying to get around and like do stuff. I would say the main issue is that, it's just convenient to be home online after work. It doesn't take a lot of effort. For me, I get the dopamine hits. It's exciting, it's intriguing, it's stimulating. And for the most part, it doesn't seem like it makes me feel negatively. But that part about mood change when attempting to stop or cut down internet usage. Now, I'm assuming what they mean there is like maybe you're irritable, or maybe you're not feeling good, maybe you're angry, maybe you're anxious. When you cut down, maybe it's like a negative mood change. But for me, it's a positive mood change, I've noticed. Like there is maybe that little anxiety or that little automatic. I do notice I have this like automatic part to myself where I kind of, grab my phone and start scrolling and just logging in, even though I had like no clue what I was trying to do. I had I wasn't thinking in my mind, oh, let me look up how to make an origami rose, or let me look up where to order the cheapest brand that's authentic origami paper, or just like some random topic to look up. I might not have had anything in mind. I just all of a sudden grab my phone, log it in, get on an app and just start scrolling. And then after a little bit, like a few seconds, I'll be like, what am I even looking for? Why did I pick up my phone? Why did I open my phone? Like I wasn't even like trying to look at it. It just automatically, sometimes I notice myself just automatically just like, oh, like log in and like see. And I'll be scrolling for a while and can't really even find anything interesting. So one example of that, I woke up this morning around 4:30-ish, 4:20 something in the morning. Bathroom break, and I was like, I'll probably go back to sleep. I was tired enough to sleep again, but I was like, yeah, it would be nice to kind of have like a little bit of background noise, a little bit of background. Guys, I was up till maybe like 5:05 or so, scrolling online trying to find something to watch. Now, I could have just gone back to bed it's like 4:30 in the morning. I could have just gone back to sleep. But instead, I kind of did that. And what I do when I'm online, if I'm already on my phone and it's like by the time it's 5 in the morning, if someone had messaged me the night before, then I'm like, okay, let me just like heart their message or like their message or whatever. And then I'll get back to it later in the day when it's more, you know, normal hours. And so I kind of do that if I'm already up at 5. So that's how I know I was up a little bit after 5, is because I was up long enough to get to that 5 a.m. point where I was hearting some messages that got to me last night, which I saw last night, but I avoided replying to the messages, not out of anger or anything, but I just did it because I decided that's what I wanted to do. Was wait and reply later. So I saw this. So basically, what I noticed, and I'm still this is kind of a project still, and I want to talk about things on here that I'm like practicing, because I talk a lot on here about theories and like beliefs and stuff, but I'm kind of gravitating lately more towards the practice of things, not just oh, you know, sorry, I hope it doesn't bother you guys. I'm drinking water. It's hot, and I don't think I had enough water today necessarily, not yet. So I'm trying to get there. But taking a break during work, because my energy kind of tanked after lunch. Not tanked, but I was like super wired, and now I'm kind of like a little winding down a little bit more. So I wanted to have like a little buffer between now and work. So last night, let me see, the night before last night, was that Sunday night. Sunday night, other than the train ride, part of the train ride, and while I was hanging out with a friend, once I got back in the evening, I think I got back home around, let's call it, maybe 6:30 p.m. or so. I had some sushi from the market, the Japanese market, and I basically just relaxed. But I think I was watching videos online or YouTube or something. I think I was online pretty much all night until I was wanting to sleep, and I did have some trouble sleeping Sunday night. And then Monday, I struggled through Monday, but I was like, I'm not having another day like that, where I'm kind of like not on my A game. I was on my B game, so it's like, all right, I wasn't like doing that bad, but it was like, I'd give myself like a B for yesterday. I'd give myself, so far today, I'd probably give myself like an A minus, maybe even an A minus, at least up to this point. But yeah, I don't really like to go lower than like B minus level. I don't feel like I should be working if I'm gonna give myself like a C plus. That's not, like, maybe for like a portion of the day if I'm just doing like paperwork or something, and just slow at it, then it's like, okay, whatever. Yesterday, the reason why I say I gave myself like a B is because I was a lot slower than I would have wanted to be. The reason why I was slower is because I was a little more tired. The reason why I was a little more tired was I ate a smaller breakfast, which is related to being tired, and I also didn't sleep as much. I was up again probably around 4:20, 4:30 in the morning yesterday morning, but didn't really get to sleep in more. I got out of bed pretty late, like probably 20 minutes later than usual. And like you guys probably noticed, I haven't really been podcasting in the mornings much, which is why I don't have a lot of content posted lately. The easiest time for me to record, honestly, is in the morning, but that's also the hardest time for me to record because all I can really think about is like the fact that I didn't sleep well, or if I did sleep well, and there's really not a lot of ideas that come to me at that hour, like when it's like 6 or so in the morning. So I kind of did it to switch up content, but now I'm noticing I'm not posting as often, because the only time I really have like any privacy really is in the mornings, and not even every morning. Wednesday mornings, my mom is dealing with the trash, so she's up super early. So I share my mornings with her in the early morning before work. Otherwise, before work, most other days I'm up. If we call it 6:30. I mean, my mom doesn't usually get rolling till about 10, and so I'm usually good to go before work. I have plenty of time to record, which is why I was recording earlier beforehand. But now I'm recording less, but it's kind of easier to talk about what I'm actually working on and stuff I'm trying to like practice and do, because my brain is a little bit more functional at this time of day. I always say this. I say this to my friends. I'm like, my job gets the best of my energy. Like they get the best of me. Not in the way like how people sarcastically say, "Oh, you're getting the best of me," like kind of like how they say that you're getting on their nerves kind of thing. I just mean all of my energy from 8:30 to 5 o'clock, where I could be doing creative stuff, goes to work. And so I've decided that I'm not going to spend all of that energy on work. And when I take some breaks sometimes like today, I'm going to record. And, because that's valuable to me, and, it helps me out. It helps out my mental health. It helps out my, creative processing, and just kind of motivation with projects and things. So talking more about this internet stuff, last night I was like, I'm not gonna have another day like Monday was. It wasn't a bad day. It was just, I've got a lot of goals. There's a lot of people out of the office, so that means I'm taking on more, and I need to be sharp. And I know that my energy is the sharpest between 9 a.m. and like 2 p.m. It just hit 2 p.m. right now, but that's when my energy is pretty much the sharpest. So, like, I want to make sure I'm having good integrity. Like, the integrity needs to stay strong. I don't want to be putting myself in a position where I feel like pressure to like not perform properly, or to try to, half do it on some tasks, and just not really fully complete things on time or early or as needed, because of my energy levels. I don't want that. But I would say, so last night what I did after work, I kind of caught myself because I've been watching this movie called Australia, about this like Aborigine kid. Basically, it's kind of like, it's not really a kid's movie, I wouldn't say, but there's like a young person in it, and it's almost like a Western-ish, but it takes setting on an indigenous people's land, and there's all these people kind of working for this ranch, and like these indigenous people, I think some of them are related. I don't really know, family-wise, who's related to who, but there's more than one. There's more than the kid there. There's other adults there too. They just don't really have a very deep storyline about the different characters. They kind of just jump into the story about the main character. And so, which is that lady, I can't remember her name, it doesn't really matter. But anyways, it's free on YouTube right now. So I'm watching it, and I was watching a little bit of it last night, and I realized I don't really want to spend all night watching the rest of this movie. I'd rather be in my mind or do something else. And so that's exactly what I did. I was kind of in my mind doing something else. Turned it off. Did a lot of body work. That's something I would not have done if I was just sitting online watching movies or watching YouTube videos. So I did a lot of body work. Realized, I have a lot of tension. I have a lot of, my back pain still has issues sometimes. But last night I kind of handled most of it. I, worked everything out and did a lot of breathing techniques, a lot of muscle relaxation techniques, a lot of massage techniques, a lot of stretching techniques, some body weight exercises, but nothing too intensive. I did clean during work yesterday on my 30-minute break. I took like 17 minutes or so to like clean up my bathroom. I didn't like clean the floors, I pretty much just cleaned everything else, and then did a little bit of like exercising my calves and stuff, and a little bit of stretching. It wasn't really much. So if I wouldn't have turned off my phone, because that's what I did, I turned my phone off. I literally turned it off. I set it next to me and I was charging it, but I turned it off. I think I talked about the other weekend where I turned it off and put it in my desk drawer across the room. This time it was next to me charging, but it was off. So I'm realizing, if I want to stay off my phone, I'm going to have to turn it off, not put it in my pocket or put it near me. Because I do that thing where I kind of just automatically pick it up and start scrolling. I don't know any other way to get away from that. And I did notice, even when it was off, I kind of found myself thinking, oh, let me reach for my phone and like look that idea up, or let me reach for my phone and text this person, or let me reach for my phone and do this thing. Like, it was kind of like that, like let me reach for this, reach for that. And, I've had people kind of talking to me this week, which is fine. Like, people are kind of like bringing up current events, which is fine. I'm not mad about it. I'm just mentioning it because it's part of my week. And, I've told a couple people that I'm kind of in a project with this, kind of trying to shut out the world a little bit more. Because if you think about it, I'm talking to people all day about their problems, reading their charts about their problems, all their cancer, all their respiratory issues, who got rushed to the hospital, who's seen what doctor, what note says this and that, who's not improving, who died. This is what I'm, reading about, looking at, talking about during the week. And while it's not super intensive, it does affect me. And so I'm online all day interacting like this with people, or on my work phone interacting like this with people about health and problems. And I do think I'm called to be around the healing profession. I think somewhere between healing and teaching, because I'm passionate about it. It's just hard, with the compassion fatigue that comes up. But I do notice when I'm off the internet more, that compassion fatigue is improved a lot. I have a lot more stamina with this type of content, with everything. I have a lot more patience with people. I have a lot more just positivity in my mind. The gears in my mind get turning and I feel better. And it's just something as simple as keeping my phone off. And I'm not saying keeping it off even all night. It was only a few hours. I want to say I had it off from maybe 6 p.m. or maybe a little before, maybe like 5:50 p.m., maybe 6. Because I remember when I ate dinner I started eating dinner almost right when I logged off. Let's call it 5:05 p.m. I started to eat dinner, and I'm feeling good eating dinner. And yeah, I ate dinner. Felt good while I was eating. And looked at my time and I realized, I was like, okay, it's almost 6. And it hit me. I was like, it doesn't feel like it's almost 6. It feels like it's later. I thought it was going to be like 7, but it wasn't even 6 yet. It was still like 5:45 or something like that. 5:50, 5:40, somewhere around there. And I was like, let me just shut off my phone. Otherwise, I'm going to keep watching this movie and keep scrolling around and looking for stuff. So I just turned off my phone. And I think I turned it back on like a few minutes after 9. Or I went on my laptop. I remember going on my laptop because I wanted to listen to some music and kind of like rock out and like jam to some stuff. And then I think that's when I turned on my phone, is because the headphones I use on this laptop, I have my work Bluetooth headset. The bass doesn't sound as good as my iPhone earbuds, the lightning cable plug-in earbuds. I think, I like a lot of music with some good bass lines, and I think so far those headphones have the best for like a deep bass line, because I like the bass like really deep. I like to hear it loud, and those headphones are better. So that's why I went back to my phone, because I was like, if I'm gonna listen to music, I want it to sound the way I want it to sound, and that's literally why I went on my phone a little after 9 last night. I took melatonin around 9-ish, that little bit after 9 p.m. Let's call it 9:15 p.m. It was probably earlier than that though. I only took one instead of two of those gummies, because I noticed I am eating a lot of gummy vitamins, and I was telling my friend about it. I was like, I think when I have a cannabis gummy, I'm eating literally like 7 gummies a day, because I've got these Women's Daily Health multivitamins. I take 2 of those. I take 2 of the Focus Factor gummies. I take 2 of these like mushroom mix. They're legal mushrooms. A legal mushroom mix of gummies. That's already like 6 gummies, And then if I take, I guess I lost track. That's 9 gummies, not 7. Because if I take the 2 at night, then that's another 2 of the melatonin mixed with other stuff gummies. So that's already like 8 gummies. And then if I add one cannabis gummy, then it's like 9 gummies every day. It's like I'm eating 9 gummies. 8 to 9 gummies. That's a lot of gummies. I don't think you're supposed to be eating that much gummy stuff. And not all of it is like organic either. I don't, and I don't know anything about pills and all that kind of stuff. I can't swallow pills anyways, but yeah, as far as the gummies are concerned, I might lay off of them in the evening and then start trying to take them like closer to this time of day, near like after 2 p.m. Take like some of them, not all of them, but just take a little bit, because I don't think I need to be eating like 8-9 gummies a day. That's probably why my stomach gets a little weird sometimes, because that's a lot of freaking gummy things. But I do feel good today. My energy's been surprisingly great. I had 3 days last week that were surprisingly good as well, energy-wise. And the only things I can really realize that made the biggest difference for me were the decreased internet some of the days, body work exercises, different massage type of things, and sleeping well. And then waking up, having a decent sized breakfast and hydrating and having coffee and all that in the morning, in the order that I actually do it. That's not the order I do it. I usually have the coffee first on an empty stomach. That kind of is like a cleansing thing for me. Not like spiritually cleansing necessarily, but like it cleans out my there's like a number 2 that happens. But I've noticed since I've been taking those mushroom gummies, I don't really need the coffee to kind of get to number 2 in the morning. It kind of just happens a little more easily, and I've been eating a little bit better too, so I've got more fiber and from veggies and stuff and fruits and things like that in my system, and I'm eating less carbs, which I don't think I had carbs for breakfast. I had half of a slice of Spam, 2 boiled eggs, a few little slivers of avocado and an orange that I kind of snacked on some of that up until like 10 o'clock. Had half of a Subway turkey sandwich around 12:15 or 12:30 or so today. But that wasn't my lunch break. I took a 15-minute break, and this is kind of my longer break. So whatever time I go over here, I'm gonna take out of my last 15-minute break that I take before 5 p.m. Usually I just jump in the shower right before the day ends. So right before my shift ends, so I can kind of like get in the shower before work ends, and then not have to spend my free time taking a shower. And for dinner tonight, I've got a salad. I'm gonna put some chicken. My mom got this chicken from Smart and Final. It's not good chicken. I appreciate that she got it. It's a blessing to have food. I am probably still gonna eat it, but it's not healthy. I can tell it's not healthy. It doesn't taste right. It makes my stomach feel weird. It's not good, and it's super salty, and I don't think it's good for my health necessarily. But just eating some of it, I don't think it's gonna. I don't know. I don't know what to really comment about that. I mean, I eat McDonald's on occasion, you know, like I'm trying to be more health conscious, but I'll eat other stuff, you know, eat it. But yeah, I think that's mostly what I have to say about what I'm doing. Now when I say like staying offline, like there's a difference for me between turning on my computer and podcasting or actually working on something. I'm mostly thinking about texting, going on Instagram. Facebook isn't that big of an issue, or going on YouTube. Those are kind of the main things that I'd rather decrease. I don't think I need to be on Instagram as often as I go on there. I think I should be able to check it like once before bedtime or something, or in the morning, and just leave it at that, or check it, you know, like with YouTube, sometimes it's playing in the background when I'm working. But otherwise, I don't really see any reason, you know, to be online scrolling around or watching movies and music videos. Well, I like music videos, but watching movies and, you know, just countless amounts of videos, you know, every day for no reason. There's no reason I need to be like watching all that stuff. Because it has affected me. It has affected me. I don't think it's as bad as it could be, but to me, I feel like it's maybe worse than what I had originally thought. Because at first I was treating it like, oh, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. Like, I don't think I meet criteria for an addiction. I don't think I'm like addicted or like, you know, in some super need of, you know, like I don't think it's like that big of an issue, because I'm able to just stop when I want to stop. I don't know if I've had trouble with that. I've only tried it like a few times, but the few times I've tried, as long as my phone is off, I'm kind of good to go. So I have tried it a few times, been successful. Been able to decrease. So that's why I'm not as worried. Like, I would maybe be more worried if I noticed that I couldn't even do that. but I can do it, and like when I say I'm gonna do it, I do it. But it's just getting to the place where I remember, like, oh yeah, like I wasn't gonna be online all night. I was gonna turn it off after dinner or whatever, and just work on my own stuff and read and do my own things. Just trying to be offline more, because it helps my energy, it helps my creativity, it helps my mood. And it limits the other stuff that kind of makes me not able to reach other goals. Like if I hadn't turned off my phone, I don't think I would have done probably like 45 minutes worth of like body work last night. I don't think I would have done that at all. I would have just skipped all of it and kept all that stress in my body and kept all that tension, not had any exercise or stretching or anything. I would have just tried to go along my night with all that, holding all that and not doing anything to kind of relieve any of it. I mean, going on like that day after day is not healthy at all. So just adding extra movement and stuff helps. And another thing, okay, this is gonna be maybe my last note on here, but like for this episode, but eating healthy too helps for sure. But one thing I noticed last night, I started getting the munchies. I had an edible last night. I started getting the munchies after I ate dinner because I ate a light dinner, and I mentioned I ate a light breakfast. And I don't remember what I had for lunch, but it probably wasn't. I was snacking a lot during the day. I don't think I had a very hearty lunch yesterday either, not to my memory. So I was having light snacks throughout the day pretty much. And dinner was pretty light. And when the munchies hit me, I was searching everywhere. I was like, I want a chocolate bar, I want Doritos, I want Cheetos, I want just something that's gonna like hit the spot. Either chips or a chocolate bar. The only thing we had were those fun size Milky Ways. What the heck? Gotta wait a bit. My goodness. Okay, so that's all I had were those like fun size. There's like a little package of like fun size Milky Ways. I don't like Milky Ways. And then there was like a jar of gummy bears. I mean, I already talked to you about how many gummy things I'm eating. I really wasn't in the mood for gummy bears. We didn't have any fruit, really. We didn't really have anything that was gonna hit the spot. And the only thing I had left over was a couple pieces of spicy tuna sushi, and some sushi that had like ume, and some sushi that had like these kind of pickled daikon radish. That's all I had. That was the only thing I had that I was like, I don't have to cook this, and I need to eat it anyways because I got it Sunday night, and by this point it was like Monday evening. And for sushi type things with the rice and stuff, and the one with the spicy tuna, it's not going to be good. After like 24 hours, I wouldn't really trust trying to eat it. Not unless you're that brave or that hungry. So, yeah, I saw that in there. And I was like, okay, I didn't want to eat it. I was looking everywhere for something else. And I couldn't find anything else. And so I was like, fine, I'll settle for the sushi. And so I ate sushi, mostly for dinner. Otherwise, I just had like a little bit of turkey and some like veggies that my mom had heated up in the oven. But I was like, I didn't take a lot of that. That's why I got hungry. And then I just had the sushi. And I was like, that's all I have left to eat, like not all I have left to eat, but anything else would have required cooking or shopping or like going to get something. And so I ended up eating that, and it kind of helped me realize, I was like, if I don't have snacks in the house, I'm not going to eat them. But if we had chips, I probably would have had like 2 chip bags, probably 300 calories worth of chips. I'm pretty sure that's what I would have had last night. It's probably like 300 calories worth of chips instead of like a little sushi thing, a few pieces of sushi, it had a little bit of veggies in there. It has the seaweed, it has the rice, yeah, carbs, and it's white rice and whatever. But I mean, that I think is a better option. So that's what I had, and yeah, it was kind of just a little bit eye-opening, because I was like, that's all it takes? Like, that's all it takes. That's all it takes for me, is to just have something. Just to have something fresh, and then I'll avoid all the other stuff. If I don't have it there, I'll eat what I have, and I won't eat unhealthy. And kind of like the same with the internet and the phone, kind of like scrolling and stuff. If I just turn it off, I'm not going to go through the extra step to turn my phone on, wait for things to, like, how iPhones are. They take a few seconds to load up, and just do all that just so I can like scroll mindlessly when I don't have anything on my mind that I actually want to search for. I'm not going to turn on my phone just to scroll, and so, I can spend more time exercising or writing music or working on creative things, recording, writing, typing, journaling, whatever else, I can spend time doing those other things. So I don't know. I'm just posting about this because I'm pretty sure it's something that comes up for a lot of people, and I know a lot of people have been talking often about my anxiety's high, my health is not doing well, I'm anxious, I can't sleep, I wake up, I have no energy. I'm just noticing this is like, of course, I'm not here to diagnose people or tell them, hey, I've found like the problem, the solution to all your problems. Everyone has a variety of their own issues, but this is one that is surprising to me, because I didn't notice how much of my energy I'd get back just from something as simple as turning my phone off. I always thought, I can just, sit it to the side. Just set it to the side somewhere and not touch it, just leave it there. But that doesn't really happen. I have to turn it off and completely disconnect. And if I'm reconnecting, I can reconnect to other things, tune into like spiritual things or ancient writings or whatever. I've got plenty of books that are going to take me a lifetime to understand what they're about. I can learn Hebrew, I can do all these other things, and it's like things that I've been missing doing, that I've been wanting to find time and energy to do, and lo and behold, I've had the time and energy. It's just been, what doesn't go into work goes into scrolling on my phone or consuming like the most interesting looking thing on my phone. It's kind of funny, as much as I consume content about Amish culture, I think it was Drew Binsky's latest video on the Amish Schwarzentrooper, and it's kind of funny. I'm not knocking his content, I'm just saying I've learned so much about those cultures that when I watched his video, I actually recognized what parts were not accurate, what parts were inaccurate, what parts were photos showing Mennonites. They're Mennonites, they're not Amish, or photos that aren't showing Schwarzentrooper, these are a different type of people, or photos that are showing like a different kind of, like while he was talking, narrating, some of the pictures didn't match what he was saying. And I'm not trying to like fault him. I'm not trying to like point him out and be like, he doesn't know what he's saying. But I'm just saying, it was just interesting to me. I watched his latest video about like getting to take some footage with the Swartz and Truger Amish, and yeah, that's where I noticed that I learned quite a bit about that culture. So, alright guys, I think I've reached the end of this recording because I gotta get back to work. I got about 2.5 hours to finish up what I need, and then I'll be done for today. I'll log off for today, but just for now, that's kind of what I want to put out in the world. Is just, some of these religious groups that talk about the internet and stuff, like I've noticed the power of the internet as far as for creativity, for connection socially, for just like entertainment and fun and like something free to do. But I'm also noticing I'm getting back a lot of my energy and health and perspective, and a lot of things I'm getting back in return from not being online all the time. So I'm not trying to tell people what to do. If you want to go online, go online. But for people who are struggling with their days and feeling like, oh, things don't feel as good lately as I remember them feeling, for me, I'm just surprised that the shift in, not being online so often is helping me. I mean, it's definitely helping me. Because it's not like I'm just napping and sleeping. Like, I'm doing other things. But other things that I feel like are kind of building, not building me up per se, but like building on ideas, and kind of like I'm learning slowly as I go with stuff, and it's just gonna be a better lifestyle for me if I can kind of keep this kind of awareness and not get so sucked into like which politician is doing what or what isn't working and the economy sucks and all these other things, and just focus on work and focus on what I do when I'm not at work. Because I was getting scared there for a while. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be very functional working, because I never have energy. Everything's so depleted all the time. And just something as simple as, just cut everything off. If I don't really actively care about it, if I don't really care about it, then I'm just going to cut it off. At least put it on the back burner. I don't need to be engaged in like every single thing under the sun, or know about it, or talk about it, or learn about it. Like, I don't care. Like, there's a lot of stuff I just don't care about. So I want to pay attention to what I care about. More attention to what I care about, and less attention to what an algorithm is kind of like trying to like tempt me to engage with. I don't want my life to be driven by an algorithm, because it kind of is. When I'm online, it's like I'm rarely actively searching for stuff. I'm scrolling and seeing what comes to me. So I'm happy with it. If I have any more insights, I'll post them. I gotta get back to what I'm doing, and hopefully you guys like this episode. I don't know what you guys think about this kind of content. I'm posting it little by little to see what you guys think. I hope I'm not going on and on too much about things that are boring to people. But alright, I'm gonna post this and get back to work. Thanks for listening.